Hey everyone, this is Chris Dunkel. In this video, what I'd like to do is take just a moment to talk about finding images that you can use that are labeled for reuse and copyright free, so to speak. And so this often comes up a lot with our students when they're looking for things. Now, obviously, you can go into Google, and I'm going to search for, let's say, a landscape background. So I'm coming over to Google Images. And here I have a variety of background images. If I hover over them, if you're not familiar with this, it'll tell you the dimension of it. And you'll notice this one is 3200 by 1506. This one's 1920 by 1200, and so on and so forth. A couple things worth of noting here. Whenever you do a Google image search, if you'll come over to tools, you'll have some options. One thing that's important is you have a size tool. So depending on what you want, if you're wanting something to be the background for the full screen, then you may want to pull this down and say a large size. And that's only going to show you the ones that are large, obviously. However, there may be a situation where you want a little image that's just going to be over somebody's shoulder on the screen. It's not going to be very big. So you could, go down to a medium size or something like that if you wanted. Now, of course, remember too, you can always take a large picture and shrink it and you're not going to lose the quality. However, if you take a small picture and make it really large, then you are going to pixelate it. It's not going to be good. A couple other things to show you, though, that are really helpful under the tools menu. If you come here to color, let me get a landscape background. Let me choose, let's just say baseball. All right, under color, of course, you can choose black and white or full color, and that usually is not often why you're coming here. But if you come down to transparent, what transparent's going to do, it's going to find you transparent images so that when you save this, so I'm going to click on this ball here, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to tell on the screen quite well enough. But when I click on this preview, you'll notice instead of the white background, I have a checkerboard that's gray and white. And the checkerboard is letting me know that if I save this image and I bring it into a video editor or PowerPoint or whatever, and I layer it on top of another image, I'm going to be able to see through to that bottom image. So we talked about in WeVideo how you can have different video tracks. So we might have something on a bottom track and then something layered on top. If you'll do a Google search and go to transparent images and find one that has this gray and white checkerboard, save that. And that's going to allow you to layer it, and you're not going to have this big white rectangle that's going around it. So that's helpful sometimes. Now, the other one, I'm going to go back, take it out of transparent, but the big reason I came here to show you this one is for usage rights. If you go under usage rights, you'll see different things, labeled for reuse with modification or labeled for reuse or non-commercial reuse with modification, non-commercial reuse. They kind of vary in a sense. I usually look for the ones with modification. That way, if I want to change something, add something to it, I'm covered. And sometimes I'll just do reuse with modification or non-commercial, just see if it's any different. Let's go back to our landscape background, though. Get some good full pictures here. So I'm going to go to usage rights, reuse with modification. So all of these that we're seeing here have been labeled that it's okay for me to use them and modify them. So I like this one. Let's take this. That's a really large image, 5133 by 3345, but I like it anyway, so I'm going to take it. One thing that I recommend doing, though, is don't take it from here. Go to view image and let it actually pull up on the screen. Try to get there at the largest size that you can get it and see it. Then what I'm going to do is right click, save image as, and I'll save it here to my computer. So I click save. It's probably going to take it a few seconds because it's probably a big image. We'll see how that does. All right, there it goes. Now, another way that you can find an image is instead of going to Google and going to Google Images, is going to Creative Commons. And so if you do a search in Google and you find Creative Commons, and you may want to go ahead and bookmark this once you get here because it'll save you a lot of time. But if you go into CC search, it will take you to where you can search for some Creative Commons stuff. Let me close that out. Now, Unfortunately, at our school, some of these sites are blocked, some are not. I've talked to Mr. Lombardo in the past about getting some of them unblocked, and he was able to, at least for temporary time. So if you're working on a project, he may be able to do that for you. But for instance, you'll notice here you've got different things where you can search images, you can search music, you can search video. But what this is going to do is it's going to find things that have been purposely designated to be downloaded to be used by others. So it's kind of copyright free. And kind of a quick backstory kind of on this in general is in the past, if you created something, as soon as you create it, you have the copyright to it. So if you write a poem on a napkin right now, technically you are the copyright owner of that poem. But what would happen is if someone wanted to use your poem, maybe for a song or something, they would have to contact you and say, hey, could I use it? Well, if you created something, you might be getting several people, every day you're getting 100 emails of people asking you, can they use your poem or can they use your image? And so basically they said there's got to be a better way where I don't have to keep saying yes and yes and yes and yes and yes over, that I could create something and from the beginning go ahead and let people know it's okay to use it, and here are the restrictions that I have. I'm not going to get into it as much in this video, but you might want to poke around on Creative Commons and they explain. You'll see different symbols when you look up things, and some things are, just give me attribution, just somewhere in designate, have a little part that says image provided by Chris Duckle or whatever the case may be. Some are like, say it's okay to use, but you can't use it for monetary gain and such like that. But in general, here in Creative Commons, all you do is you select where you want to search. So I'm going to do a Flickr search, and let's just put beach. Now you'll notice you have two checkboxes: used for commercial purposes, modify, adapt, or build upon. I usually uncheck used for commercial purposes because we're not, and that gives you a few more. And so once you do that, you can hit enter, or you can click the search bar. And what it's going to do is it's taking us to the Flickr site, and it's finding us images that we can use. And so I could click on one of these and it'll tell me more about it. Notice down here, it doesn't just have one little icon, and this is the attribution icon. So basically, if I use it, I would need to say image provided by Sean McEntee. So Flickr's one that's has some pretty good images on it. If I go back to Creative Commons, Pixabay is another down here. They've got some good stuff as well. In one of them, I think it is Pixabay. Oftentimes it'll say CCO, Creative Commons 0, meaning you don't even have to give attribution. Like I could just use this image, which is really a gorgeous image. So I could download that and use it in something. So Creative Commons, one place that you can look. Google Images, just go to the tools section of Google Images and go to usage rights and change it there. But both good places where you can get some images that you can use and your students can use. As always, if you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.